let's bring about Socrates. So he has some like metallic parts in his shoulders, just like me in my hand. So we again share some common bond, just like Gandhi. But anyways, give it up for Socrates, guys.
Nice, but keep going for Arsenal. Yeah. No problem. Okay, hands up for the Dutch medical system. It's not bad, it's not perfect, it's not like it used to be, but that's life, isn't it? Yeah, I asked ChatGPT, I do some English pub quizzes, and I asked it about things from the Netherlands, and it suggested that one of the great Dutch bands of all time, ABBA. Now, if you don't know, ABBA is not from the Netherlands, they're from Iceland. I'm American, I have no idea, it's the Swedish band, so don't always trust ChatGPT. ChatGPT is what I'm saying. If you see that stuff, it's like a politician. It's probably wrong. But I heard that you're 45. Congratulations. If it makes you feel any better, I'm 57. Yeah, which is 75 in Dutch. You don't know the Dutch do things with the numbers to make you feel young and old, depending on the year. Looking forward to becoming 62 though. I'll be 26 in Dutch. But I've been here for a while, 14 years and such. I came from Florida. I don't know if you saw this recent weather we just had. It was sort of Floridian weather. I kind of miss it. We have this sort of, biblical storms in Florida all the time. It's different than living here. In the Netherlands, we basically have the 2 seasons. Because spring kind of goes into fall, and generally back into spring again. Not recently, we've had summer, which is really cool, but like in Florida, we have sort of like the not summertime, and then of course summer, and then we go into what's called fire season. You thought rainy season sucks. Fire season makes you pray for rain. You will appreciate rain every time. When it's raining, you're like, well, it's not on fire. And the only thing that happens after a while in Florida, we all pray for rain for long enough, then it comes into hurricane season. Yeah, you know what hurricane season? Anyone been to Florida? Anyone done a hurricane in Florida? If you've ever want to have an exciting time from weather, how exciting can weather be? Exciting weather sucks. It's like tornadoes are extremely exciting, Hurricanes are great excitement because it stops, I had 3 of them cross over the house and in the middle there, it gets all quiet, yeah. And then it comes back again, it's like divorce. But for the entire state, yeah. But so it's like for me, the Dutch weather is fantastic, you know what I mean? They have one of my favorite Dutch words for rain is that little rain that gets in your face, it's called miser, because it makes you so miserable. So as far as I'm concerned, the Netherlands, I moved here for the food, but I'm staying for the weather. And like Arcel said, I've been doing a tour of the hospitals, the houses of paracetamol. Because just when COVID ended, remember that time of self-reflection, got to get in touch with yourself, it was all peaceful and calm. I miss COVID, sort of it, But just after COVID, I was, they say learning a language is hard, but it's also painful. Because just after COVID in March, I was taught this Dutch word I didn't want to learn, but I was forced to, and that word was aangereden. And if you don't know, it means to be slammed into, because I was aangereden door een scooterklotser. At least that's what the guy told me. It means I got slammed into by this asshole in a scooter, and I got thrown in the air, and I actually went flying in the air like a bird. But I landed like an octopus. It was bad. And I got to go to the hospital that day, and I found out lots of things about life. Getting hurt sucks, that's true. And when you're at the hospital, you don't want the doctor to look at your x-ray and go, ooh, which is what they did. I saw the x-ray, I was like, I hope that's not me. Well, we can hope for peace, but ain't gonna happen. And they offered me a shot of morphine. Yeah, the paracetamol was not gonna cut it. And they ended up treating me with what they call conservative treatment, which was basically nothing. Yeah, they put a blue strap around my arm. It was modern because it's a blue strap with Velcro. It was modern technology, Told me it comes good and he sent me home. You've heard this from a doctor here? I'm sure you've gone to doctors because you're old like me. Not quite, but And they told me it comes good. And with this optimistic hope, I went home, and for 8 months, I was told to exercise my arm. Like they told me, it frees up. So I had to keep doing this. And I was in my neighborhood doing, waving at my neighbors. I was in Enschede recently. I told that story. That's on the East Coast. They understood completely. It was not a good scene. And basically, 8 months passed, and I finally had a surgery, and they put in 12 screws in the bones from a dead guy. I don't know who he was, but he's dead now. And they threw him away 4 months after that because it turned necrotic. And so like he said, now I have an artificial shoulder, because I have a reverse prosthetic in my right shoulder here. Yeah, it's a tattoo for the old people. Just line work. But I have basically a reverse shoulder. So I have where I had a socket, now I have a ball, and where I have a ball, now I have a socket. So I think I have a trans shoulder. Yeah, so it's been a fun year. I wasn't going to mention it, but he brought it up, so I figured I have to cover the issue in this case. Because, you think in your life, it's going good, you know what I mean? And how bad can it get, etc. And well, in August, I had a stroke. Yeah, exactly. That was my reaction, too. I was stunned, I was shocked. I was like a tourist in the middle of a bike path. And basically, yeah, that was a fun kind of a thing till I found out again, life comes at you from all different directions, you know what I mean? It's like you think you know what's happening, and then you find out that you didn't know whatsoever. It's like maintaining a work-life balance is like one of the hardest things in life in general. And you should like never ever take your work home with you, especially if you're like a kindergarten teacher. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Get lots of mistakes doing these things in general. But I was seeing a psychiatrist for a while. Anybody see a psychiatrist in here? Anyone doing those things? It's free because it's insurance, And the guy, he didn't want to see me after a while. You think a breakup is bad, you know what I mean? Try getting dumped by a psychiatrist, Who am I going to talk to, Worked out all right, because I guess it worked out, because like a couple of days later is actually when I had the stroke, so at the very least I can blame it on the psychiatrist, I think. And I'm a Greek as well. I mean, I know you said you're the Dutch person in the room, is that right? Yeah, probably. Well, I was a Greek as well, so when I go home to go to see my family in Greece, it's a culture shock, you know what I mean? They have mountains there. After I've lived here for a while, I'm always amazed that this is dirt going up. How? I mean, the only thing we have here that goes up are bridges. And, they always go over water. These mountains in Greece, there's no water. It's just rocks. And you try to explain to a Dutch person, what is a rock? Well, it's like mud. It gets really, really dry. And then you don't understand, but dry is really hard to explain here. If you lived here for long enough, you know what I'm talking about. But like I said, though, for me, this is a great place. It's a different culture living here than living in the U.S., for example. Like, we have to have our own words for different things that are important for where you live. Like in the U.S., they needed a term, mass shooting. Yeah, it's funny here. Over there, it's a serious, serious thing. They've actually defined it. You know what a mass shooting is? 4 or more. 3 people get shot, no one cares. Just a shooting. No one's impressed if you're involved in a shooting, but a mass shooting, at least you're on a number band, But here they have a different word that's more important, which is swaffling. Well, actually, no, if you don't know I was here 3 months, I was taught the word swaffling. It means to slap yourself into something. Women can do it, but they gotta get really close. Because it's a man who kind of, I think, see, there was this guy in the Taj Mahal in India, and he decided for some reason to swaffle the Taj Mahal, and his friend had a camera, and they videotaped it, and it was 2008, so it was kind of boring back there on the internet, and it got really popular. It went viral, and it became the word of the year in 2008. And I had lived here for a mere 3 months, and they taught me this word. And so if you ever wonder what swaffling's about, that's what it is. The other word, of course, is gezellig, which is one of those wonderful words of a true Dutch word, if there ever was one, which is a wonderful warm evening, that we do as a group, Could be raining outside, it could be snowing. It does snow, but you come inside as a group, have some beertjes, we all hang out as a group, we make it gezellig, you know what I'm saying? This is sort of a gezellig evening, if you see what I'm saying. And that's what we're going to do for Hermes as well this evening. And anyway, I'll close with the fact that as you go through life, like I said, I find that early part, that fun part was kind of cool because you learn and get better and better at all the time. And then there's that middle part where you know what the hell's going on. And that's the fun part where you're too busy doing work. And then there's that other part where you get to reflect on everything. And you find out that your life changes. Like now I feel more like a woman who's like 8 months pregnant. But I don't know what to name it yet. So I'm thinking either Beardshire or Phoebo. It's going to be one of the two. Anyway, hopefully you'll have a gezellig evening with the Hermes as well. My name was Socrates. Give it up for Arsenal again. Thanks a lot. You guys are great.